Hello, my name is James Burton, and this is going to be kind of the last video that kind of wraps up the work I've been doing so far. Um, we're going to look at how I made vines and stuff like, more simple kind of techie stuff, and also kind of, give an overview of what I think I'll be doing in the following months, and just a small look at other bits and bobs that I didn't show in the videos before because they weren't really big enough to have their own category, I guess. So the first thing is going to be looking at the vines. So I'm going to open the case for you to see. The case master UDK. The one. So one of the main ideas for the case was that it was gonna, as the game progresses and each time you come back into the case, it would be more overgrown and more kind of decayed, and that was something that I always had to keep in mind when making these vines, was that they were going to have to be able to sprawl throughout the whole environment. So they needed to be kind of modular, they needed to look thick, and they basically needed to make it look like it was starting to become overgrown. So excuse that the lighting's not built, and actually this might be easier to look if it's not lit. All of these are made with separate meshes that we can quickly place along and start making the shapes that we want. So making the vines start from the bottom, and then kind of making strands that allow us to kind of make it look like it's climbing through the wall. It's made quite simply. Again, all the textures for these were done hand painted, and they're only like 256 by 256, so they're quite simple. So if you look at the actual kind of core of the plant, there's quite a lot of there's a clump of leaves to kind of create the feel of it being having more dense foliage. And as you can see, hopefully you can see that it kind of like has some flaky leaves that come out just to have it so that it's not too flat. If I look at the actual mesh, you can see that a lot of the leaves kind of go outwards so that they don't look too flat when viewed. Another kind of vine that we have is this one. They're kind of like, it's quite thick in some parts, but then it's quite well, not too thick in others. And again, some of them are big long meshes like this one or this one, but then others, to create kind of a, so that it doesn't look flat, we add a few individual pieces that allow us to give the plant some body and make it look like it's not more like it's not flat, basically. So that's how it looks when lit. Lighting's not been built, so it doesn't look too good, but every time we build lighting it takes around 4 hours now, so we can't really do it that often. And that's the vines so far. Again, really simple, allows us to do a lot and cover a lot of areas really quick, so we get to, I don't know, play around with the vines. It's actually quite fun to place them all around, and I quite enjoyed that process. So yeah, just making them look overgrown was a big part of this thing. And in terms of technical feats, we're using the same material as before, so we can change the color at any point and stuff like that. But apart from that, technically it didn't really pose many problems. The only problem that we kind of foresee right now is that we have a lot of small meshes to cover a lot large ground, so we might need to kind of export these shapes and bring them back into Maya and export them as one shape, and then kind of fix that problem. But for now, these will be fine. We're just kind of like trying to get a visual target right now, and I think that this hits it pretty well, so we're quite happy with it. Yeah, so that's vines and overgrown stuff. This is a small environment I did for the player to go and pick up the lamp, which is in there. It doesn't really have much, it's just an environment, or a piece of an environment. And then, well, I made the dome, which is just a big mesh for a dome. It's quite simple and there's not really much point in explaining it, but it's quite a central piece. Only thing that I would explain is as you can see, it's transparent, and ignore this texture here right now because it's not finished, but you'll be able to see that it's transparent. However, having all of these windows completely transparent would have been extremely performance heavy, so it wasn't really an option. So for that reason we only made the top 2 tiers transparent, so you could kind of see up into the case, but then the rest of the dome is not transparent, although it kind of like gives the illusion, I guess, that it is. It doesn't need to, we don't need to see anything else outside of the dome, so there's not a real point in making it transparent when it doesn't need to be. And this is the kind of foresty area. Again, the trees are quite versatile, so we were able to make a really nice foresty area with a lot of shadow for the case and the outskirts of the case. Just going to give you a small fly through so that you can kind of see it. This is a broken silo with a tree going right through it, which we'll have to fix, I guess. Then we have just more forest and more forest. It's quite a big area, but we're quite happy with the way it looks right now. So, God, that's a bright sun. We'll have to change that. We have the same fallen leaves particle that I showed you in the video earlier on. I don't know why it's not. For some reason, that's not showing right now. It probably has to do with the files that we moved around. But you saw it in the other video and how it looks. So right now, this file's a bit of a mess because it's not finished, but it will get there. So yeah, I'm gonna go over a few of the other tech stuff that's really simple that it doesn't really deserve its own video. So right, so now that I've opened my other file, I can kind of talk through a few of the tech things that are here and there, like those buoys at the end, and especially the lens flares and how we kind of generated bloom, and maybe even the sky dome. But I want to do it really quickly because there's not much to it. So first thing is the bloom. When in game mode in UDK, as of now and it's had it for a while, it has a bug which, if you enable the bloom, you'll be able to see this kind of yellow line here. You can see on the right hand side. So we needed to get rid of that, and all we did is just create a lens flare that kind of emulates bloom, and that's pretty much how we got around it. I'm going to show you the rest of the levels so that you can see what I'm talking about properly. So there you go. So it kind of fakes bloom, as you can see. The real bloom is probably a bit more yellow and could probably need it just in a bit, but apart from that it looks fine. As for the buoys that you see here, as you can see they're moving. It might be kind of hard to see from here. Maybe from here it'd be easier. If you can see the buoys there, they're moving. we're not actually using any animation or anything. Literally, it's the same expression as we use for the waves, so it kind of goes with the waves as well. So again, really simple in terms of how we were able to make these move. And again, they're just lens flares that are placed outside into the sea, so they kind of make the buoy of the harbour. So that's pretty simple. One thing I do want to talk about is the sky dome. I'm going to speed up and kind of go all the way over here. And again, this sky dome needs to be really versatile. The reason is that we don't really want to have to be doing a load of sky domes for each one of our levels. So I basically created a kind of a master sky dome that would allow us to have every type of scenario inside of that sky dome. So I'll show you how the material works, and then I'll show you what the sky dome looks like. So this is the actual sky dome. It's got some panning clouds. First thing that you need to, I think it's worth mentioning, is the texture that was used. The texture is basically using the 3 channels. Oh, it doesn't seem to want to open it. I'll fully load this, see if it allows me to open it. Oh. Right, I'll have to cut this off. Let's see, what the fuck is it? I don't get you, why? Right, so basically the texture, all it is a well, it's 3 different textures inside of one. So it's 3 monochrome images, and one is in the blue channel, one is in the red channel, and the other one's in the green channel. So the green channel is like a set of panning clouds, the red channel is just more variation in clouds, and then the blue channel is just a mask. So if I look at the actual material, I'll show you what's actually gone on. So we've got the actual image of the sky dome, which I've spherized inside of Photoshop, and then it looks quite big, but it's actually really simple. First off is the color, and I'm making this texture rotate, so it rotates over the actual sphere. Base rotation speed is 0.1, and I mean, that's really simple. And then we can change the color of the sky by changing this value. So if I want to make the sky pink, well, I can make it pink, but this just means that we can have a nighttime. Then we have the clouds panning. So using that texture sample I was telling you about before, I only get the red color here, and I can multiply it by the red channel, and I can multiply it by a color to make the color of the clouds. In this case, they're kind of light blue. And I'm just panning them over, overlaid this, so I just add it to my original sky. And then to make the night sky, I have stars in one of the in the green channel, it appears. So yeah, in the green channel I have stars, and I just change the intensity of them and the amount of them, and then by just tiling them, and then that's multiplied by a color to give the stars a color. So it basically kind of gives if I want the stars to be on, I can have them on, and then if I don't want them to be on, I just turn the intensity to 0, and it works. So what I did is just a material instance with this, so you can kind of see the changes on the fly. So if I, as you can see here, there's the sky dome at night, but say for example I don't want the stars to be on, I can just get rid of the clouds the stars by pressing 0 there, so the stars disappear. And then if I want the speed of the clouds to go smaller, I can edit it here. Also the amount of clouds that there are. I can change the color of the sky, so if I wanted a daytime scene, I could kind of go here, make it lighter. As you can see inside my actual level, it's changing. The fog's kind of getting in the way of it though. So yeah, it's a skydome. It's really versatile, and it allows us to do quite a lot of changes on the fly, and we can use it everywhere. I mean, in any level of the game. So it's really versatile and useful. Apart from that, I'm pretty sure that's all I can say about the skydome. In terms of more stuff, vertex painting materials here. So we can paint details inside of the what do you call it? Inside of the plaster. So if I wanted to add more brickwork on here, I can just come in and paint brickwork. So simple as that. And it just allows for us to work really quickly and within some constraints that so we don't really have to worry about what size texture we have, or if it's tiling properly. We can just paint it underneath and sort it out. Apart from that, that's pretty much all the work I've done. Actually, we've got the cloth here. When you're in game, these meshes actually react with cloth. If I can select it, I'll show you. So the actual asset inside of here is made out of cloth, so I can start the simulation. Where is it? Yeah, so I can start the simulation here, and then you can see what the cloth actually looks like. And that's pretty much all of the kind of techie work I've done. I've been doing a lot of environment art lately to kind of get this stage of the game done. So that's pretty much the work I've been doing. So just to talk about the future, in the future we'll be finishing up the case and doing the part of the back of the mine, so lighthouse stuff around here. I need to properly do these particle systems for the water and the water running to look good. But so far it's kind of getting there. Then just finish off this area here, get up onto the lighthouse, and make sure that basically everything works properly. And so far so good. But as far as episode 2, there will be a lot of technical feats, like well, not feats, but issues with we'd have to make snow and change in seasons and stuff like that. So I'm starting to implement or to think about the processes that I'm going to use to kind of get around those problems and making sure that they look good. And that's pretty much it for me for now. I hope you've enjoyed the work I've done so far, and if you have any questions, please ask. Thank you.